guys, Ira Coleman here, the founder of Fluent Hustle. We are a community that is empowering, promoting, and helping entrepreneurs achieve a greater level of success. Today I have my man, Bruce Lund, the founder and director of 90 Day Sales Manager.
What's going on, man?
Coming on board.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Hey, man, we're about to have some fun today.
No
This
doubt.
is going to be high energy, impactful content that we're going to get a true understanding about Bruce, who he is, what it's about. We're going to discuss 90 Day Sales Manager.
I thought I was here to interview you.
We can do that too. Okay. Let's go back and forth. It goes back and forth. So this could be a fluid conversation to help out individuals at all levels in sales, specifically in real estate, mortgages, title, insurance, and financial services. If that is you and you're in that profession or looking to get into that profession, this is a video you definitely want to check out in its entirety, and make sure you go back and reflect on it coming soon. We got some good details coming ahead. So I pulled this from Bruce Lund's LinkedIn page. I'm going to read it verbatim because I think it hits all the spots necessary. So Bruce Lund, again, is the founder and director of 90 Day Sales Manager. This program accelerates production professionals in real estate, mortgage, title, insurance, and financial services through an entrepreneurship training program. For over a decade, Dr. Bruce Lund
official.
Yes, that's right. I mean, you worked hard for it. You deserve it, right?
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
So over a decade, Dr. Bruce Lund has trained thousands of professionals all over the country as a business professor, a career author and speaker, and a sales trainer. Bruce has one basic belief that trained salespeople consistently outperform untrained people. Because of this belief, Bruce founded the widely popular 90 Day Sales Manager, which we're going to be speaking of today, and this coaching program that specializes in sales, onboarding, and entrepreneurship training. Let's talk about that real quick.
Let me ask you, can you just travel with me? You know, when I go speak all over the country, you can just kind of come in and do that thing?
It's going to cost about $250,000 a year.
I'm
down for it.
Because you know that there's just a lot of bad intros, man, and setting the stage is so important, so I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. You deserve it. Bruce and I have been good friends for just about over a year. I moved out to Denver in October 2016. When did you move out here?
November.
Yep. So just over a year and a half ago or so, and we got connected. Hey, shout out to Joey Abdullah who made this connection happen. We really appreciate your hard work and dedication and recognizing when good talent comes together, good things happen.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Right?
Yeah, so, Joey's our boy, man.
He's been a great guy. So you mentioned before we came on live that your program, 90 Day Sales Manager, you help individuals of all levels become top producers.
Yep.
So that means if you're at the beginning stages of your sales career, that means if you've been in the industry for 10, 15 years and you have experience. But one thing you mentioned when you and I were at Topgolf a couple weeks ago was that you have to be humbled and learning more and stepping your game up. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday or last year or a decade ago. It's about where you at today and how to get to the next level.
Yeah, so we have a clear filter, and so I try to attract the right people into our program because for all those of you in sales who also have to do some of the service aspect of it, the worst thing that you can have happen is to go out and sell it to somebody and then realize, man, this person doesn't fit my filter. This is a high maintenance customer. What did I get myself into? And it's really an opportunity cost, right? Because it takes you away from doing and working with the people that you want to work with. And so my filter is working with people who are hungry, humble, and coachable. It starts there. Those are the baseline things. And so when I sit down with somebody, I share my beliefs. I share that trained people outperform untrained people. And I believe that because I'm a former college athlete. I believe that because I've really spent my entire life studying top producers and really now getting to coach top producers. And they all have a great coach, trainer, teacher, mentor, somebody who's helped them get to where they are and continues to push them.
I love that. You said three key aspects right there. Hungry, humble, and coachable, right? If you're not hungry, no matter what program you get into, it's going to fizzle out real quick. If you're not humble, you're going to always believe that you're too good for the opportunity you have ahead of you. If you're not coachable, then it's going to be difficult for someone to step in and show you where you might be making some mistakes at the end of the day.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, a lot of people, when you talk about, brand new people, they have all this energy, right? They just don't know what to do with it all. So they have to be coachable, right? Or like, hey, we're going to give you the systems. We're going to give you that accountability. And then when you talk about top producers, a lot of times they get complacent. And so that's where the hungry part comes in, right? Are they hungry to go to that next level? Are they hungry to push themselves past their current ceiling of complexity, right? Because we all get to a certain level. And then to break through that next level, we typically have to have somebody in our lives who pushes us, or that accountability, right? And this is especially true of top athletes. Top athletes, they're looking for these little tweaks within their game. You know, that's why these guys go out and hire quarterback coaches during the summer months or whatever it might be, is to really help push them to that next level. And we call that 2.2 millimeters of change in our program, right?
I was just going to mention that. So
yeah.
You make small little adjustments at the beginning stages of whatever you're at.
That's right.
In golf, you turn ahead just a couple of centimeters of change, and it can be yards of additional play to get the high score coming into play. So again, Ira Coleman here. I am the founder of Fluent Hustle. We are a community that is looking to empower, promote, and help entrepreneurs find a high level of achievement. You mentioned a word of complacency, right? This is where Fluent Hustle comes in. Is that we're talking about the true stories of successful business owners, but we're not talking about their success, we're talking about their failures and their struggles. So later on in the interview, we're going to talk about what struggles did you go through getting an INA sales manager in place and where you're at right now.
Continue to go through, right?
There we go. Continue to go through and the challenge that's going on. So if you're watching this, guys, on this, we got some followers right now, go ahead and go to your share page or go to this post. I need you to share this live with us, or for us, I should say, and make sure that we can put this throughout the network and the community so that way other people can definitely get ahead. So I'm going on to my personal Facebook page right now, and I am mentioning that I am live with Bruce Lunn, because we are Facebook friends.
No doubt.
So make sure you get some shout outs. If you want to ask a question, you want to field a question, please go ahead and do so. We'll try our very, very best to try and squeeze it in and see if we can get Bruce to answer any questions with you, and hopefully get some intake and some feedback. So, Bruce, let's talk about you and who you are. From my understanding, you grew up in Michigan. You're a Midwest boy?
I am. Born and raised Michigan. You know, I actually, at 17 years old, I made the best decision of my life, which is actually to move away from my hometown. And so I moved down to Maryville, Tennessee, down in Tennessee, east, like just outside of Knoxville, to play baseball.
Okay.
And the reason I start with that story for people is I'm from a small town, Reed City, Michigan, and so for me to get out and see there's other things in the world, right? There's a bigger world out there, and for me to go out all on my own as a 17 to 18 year old and really make new friends. And so, you know, that was one of the most important decisions I made. But I am born and raised in Michigan. I actually went back there to finish undergrad at Hope College. And then moved to Tennessee, and then moved to Texas, and then West Virginia, then back to Tennessee, and now here we are. So, you know, really have been all over the country.
That's beautiful. Why was it important for you to get out of your small town, 17, 18 years old, and go to another city? You kind of tapped on a little bit about, you know, meeting new people and experiences. How profound was that for you in your growth and your development at that age?
Well, I mean, it's just the whole being an individual, you know, where you're not relying on other people. I think that's what tends to happen is, you know, having networks and support groups is a really important thing, but we tend to kind of fall on that. And so really for me to go into a whole nother market and not know anybody at 18 years old, that stretched me. It challenged me. It forced me to grow, right? When mom's not doing my laundry or mom's not cooking my food or whatever it is, right? As an 18-year-old, man, I'm truly on my own out there trying to make new friends and all that kind of stuff. And that was kind of that first journey for me, and then we started traveling because I played college baseball. So we would travel all over the Southeast, and I went to Alabama, and I went to, you know, Mississippi and North Carolina and Florida and all these other cities, and I'm like, man, there's a big old world out there, right? And so from that moment, it's really been me kind of just I get restless, right, as most entrepreneurs do, and I'm like, all right, what's the next thing?
Yeah, what's the next move? What can you do to get going on? What keeps your attention? More importantly, right?
That's right.
So you mentioned baseball. What position did you play?
I was a pitcher and shortstop in high school, and I thought I was going to be the next year Derek Jeter in college, and they moved me to a pitcher.
Okay. Well, I think those are very important positions on the field.
Yeah.
I think shortstop is definitely an underappreciated position. And then pitcher, I mean, you're taking all the heat. I mean, you're on that mound, you're lonely. And it kind of relates to talking about some sales opportunities right now, right? It's like, you know, away from the team aspect where you always need a team to help you grow and further yourself. But when you're in sales, it is a lonely sport. It is a lonely journey. You can find yourself in complacency, and when you're not doing good, the team is not really talking to you, right? When you're doing really, really well, you get all the cheers, but even the team's not talking to you because they don't want to distract your mindset on pushing ahead. So, of those positions that you played, how do you see the experience, the soft skills kind of came back into play when it came into sales?
Well, I do think you're right, especially at pitcher. You know, pitcher, you're in control of the game. You control the whole tempo of it, right? Like, I can choose whether or not I want to throw a ball in 20 seconds or not. I was quick on the mound though, man. I was one of those get it and throw it kind of folks because that's just my personality. Man. I don't want to sit around and overanalyze for 1,000 minutes like most people do, right? I want to go out there and just do it. And so that's where if I got into rhythms, I was either really, really good or really, really bad. There was really no in between in my pitching, but it was, because it is the team around you. And I'm actually learning that now as I continue to scale out and grow our team around me is, man, I'm just one of those guys, I want to go. I'm a hard driver, right? So if you've ever done the disc profile, I'm a high D, high I. I just want to go and execute. I don't really have a lot of empathy because I haven't allowed myself to have empathy for myself, right? Grew up poor, grew up in a trailer, I'll be candid, and
just talk about that, man. I think that's very important. Is understanding who you are as an individual. And a lot of people talk about, such and such is successful because of what they're doing right now today. But, I really believe that there's a driving factor when your circumstances early on in your life when you're younger to where, is becoming a direct reflection of who you are today moving ahead. And it's not good or bad. It's not that things can't change, but
it definitely scripts you. Yeah, it really does. So, my mom would work multiple jobs because my dad wasn't really around a lot at that time. He was an alcoholic, and so she would work multiple jobs, pretty much help raise my sister while she was out working. And so my thing was just there's more things out there, and we always struggled financially, So I think that's really scripted in who I am even today, where it's like, man, I want to go out and make more money because as a business owner, guys, you shouldn't, as a salesperson, you shouldn't be discouraged from making money. Without a business, without sales, we don't have revenue. We can't do all these cool, fun things that we want to go do. We can't impact other people's lives. We can't hire people, right? And so, so that was one of those things. Now, as I look back, it's really scripted who I am from just a pure driver standpoint to where I knew it was on me to go get a college baseball, play college baseball or whatever it might be. And it was all like, once you have that though, it's great because it's empowering. And once you get that momentum and you start basically momentum's a great exaggerator. When we have momentum on our side, we think we're a lot better than we are. When we don't have it, we think we're a lot worse.
That's very true. So I think you've already touched on this, but who would you say was most inspirational to you early on?
Early on, I was definitely watching my mom just work her butt off for our family, right? And so, she wasn't necessarily doing the things that she wanted to do. She went out and got a degree and she really wanted to go do something else, but she just knew that she had to support the family and whatever means necessary kind of a thing. We just go dead?
Just went dead. Actually, I think we might be over here. So, gotta go back up here. It looks like the camera that we had on this shot died on us. So, we're probably gonna have a quick lag time before this kicks back in. Man, that's brutal. See,
that's all good.
Hey, you know what? If there's one thing you gotta learn how to be impromptu on decisions and don't rely on technology too much. So I know they can hear us, but let's give it a couple more moments before this. There we go.
Backup camera.
There we go. So you got the backup camera. You're on the laptop.
You're getting my good side anyways now. That's good.
So sorry about that, guys. We're still live. We're here. Bruce mentioned that one of his most inspirational figures was his mom because of how hard she worked and the dedication that she had in place. Come over just there we go, right there. Dedication she had to make sure that she can play in the very, very best possible position to find success. Again, Ira Coleman here, the founder of Fluent Hustle. We're here to empower, promote, and help entrepreneurs find a higher level of achievement. And today we have the founder of Bruce Lund, 90-day sales manager. You wrote a book.
Yeah.
You're an author. Let's talk about that. What's the name of the book?
It's called Nexpert, Nextpert. And so it really is, how do you become the next expert through mentorship and discipleship and really studying top producers? Because really, the story that I talk about the free prize in our program.
Okay.
And Seth Godin wrote a book called The Free Prize Inside about 10 years ago. And the concept there is when you open up a Cracker Jack box, there's some kind of free prize that you get in addition to. When you open up a bubblegum wrapper, right? There's a comic inside, Lucky Charms, whatever it is, there's these little free prizes. And so what I talk about in our program is I want to really empower you to understand what is your free prize. We all have a free prize based on our unique past and our struggles and our experiences, mentors, education, right? All these different things. And so we really help people find, package, and sell their special in the program. But really, for me, my free prize going all the way back to growing up in a trailer and all that kind of stuff is sports was always my release. So I would record a guy like Ray Allen at UConn shoot a jump shot.
Yeah.
And Greg Maddox throwing a baseball and Alex Rodriguez before I knew he was on steroids with the Seattle Mariners. You know,
Right.
I would literally just mimic these guys. Barry Sanders, because I'm from Michigan, you know, and Juke and Jai right there in the living room, and I would VHS record it over and over and watch it, and then I would go outside, right, and I would really just try to practice it. So I would put up a square box and throw that ball like Greg Maddux. And so, you know, the reason I tell that story though is it really cultivated two different unique abilities for me. Number one was how to be resourceful.
There you go. I love that.
How to use the resources or lack of resources really around me, because I was out in the middle of nowhere, right? I didn't have, my dad wasn't around, my mom's working jobs, you know, my sister's younger. And so I had to figure out how to self-teach myself.
Sure.
That was the second ability, right?
Yeah.
And really study other successful people. And so that's not my free prize. And so talking about Nextbert, every step of the way in my life, I've really just studied top producers. And really just mimic what they do. And I try to extract what I do well based on what they do well. And really get rid of the things that I don't do well. And so that's really what Nextbert is for that young hustler, that next generation college student who really...
How old were you when you wrote this book?
I started writing at 25. I finished it at 27 or 28.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you wrote every single word.
I did, man. I spent too much time on that thing.
No,
honestly.
if you were to go back, would you find a ghostwriter, or do you feel like that it was imperative for you to make sure that you wrote the book yourself?
Well, when you're 25, you don't really know what a ghostwriter is. You're just, you know, and at that time it was when I met Coach Michael Burt, who's been a great mentor for me at my previous company.
Okay.
And I just fell in love with what he did. You know, he actually just spoke at 10X, Grant Cardone's 10X, Growth Con this past weekend. So, you know, I forever love that guy because I wouldn't be where I am.
You say Michael Burt?
Yeah, Burt, B-U-R-T.
Burt, Michael Burt.
Yeah, so, you know, he's been, you know, for on and off for about 5 years. I was just with him every step of the way. And so I just, you know, I kind of just mimicked what he did then. You know, he wrote a book and he did all these different things. Because when you're trying to be a speaker and all these kinds of things, a lot of times a book is your business card.
Yeah.
You know, and so I really used that. And then going into the Nextbert concept is, you know, at 29 when I finished my PhD, to have a book and to be speaking all over the country to young professionals. And so that was my differential advantage getting into the Texas A&M system, you know.
Growing up, what did you aspire to be, like, you know, let's say like junior high and high school?
A teacher and a coach.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, for all of our small town friends out there, when you grow up in a small town, the most influential people and the people with the status are who? Teachers and coaches, right? And so that was my fate, probably. I wanted to go get a degree, come back, and teach and coach some kind of sport.
And at what time did that really transition where you're like, you know what, the professional sales aspect is something that you started to follow that pursuit of? As
intentional as I haven't told this story, actually, so this is going to be fun.
All right, let's hear it.
As intentional
first time
it is, man.
I don't know. From Bruce Lund's mouth.
This might be a bad thing, but
okay,
as intentional as I try to be in sales now, you know, when I was at Hope College, I was 20 years old. I was like 3-4 weeks from turning 21. We went out with our group of friends. I had a fake ID, and I ended up getting a DUI. And so at Hope College, when you get a DUI in the education field, is they don't let you become certified.
Yeah.
So imagine now I'm a junior, and this happens, and I'm like, well, damn, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just funny how I call it mysterious manifestation. How certain things happen that you didn't account for, right? Like Garth Brooks' unanswered prayers, right?
Yeah.
It's these little things that happen, and we just got to make the best of the situations, right? And I think that's a Maxwell quote. You know, people who make the best of the situations that don't work out, right? That's really what we're all doing all day, every day.
And everything happens for a reason in the most positive light, right?
Yep.
Like, you know, you could have sat there at a junior in college with 20, 22.
No, I was 20. I was like 20 years old. Yeah.
So 20 years old, gets a DUI.
If it was 22, I could have drank, Ira.
But you could have drank. I didn't catch that part, but either way, I caught the DUI.
Oh, not a DUI. It was MIP. I'm sorry. I didn't get a DUI. That was, dang, man. Thanks for correcting that. I did not get a DUI.
All right,
I
take
got
that
MIP.
back. This is live.
Oh, my goodness.
MIP, make sure you understand what's going on.
A minor in possession is
There
what
we
I
go.
got
Okay.
of alcohol.
Okay, well, either way, right? So
that's funny.
So that situation comes up. The university's looking.
That was almost a brand destroyer there for me. That's a whole different animal.
That's not the end of the world.
I know.
That's not the end of the world.
I didn't get a DUI.
Okay.
Okay.
But I think the most important takeaway out of all this is realizing that don't let small setbacks hold you back from the best potential coming ahead.
You just got to recalibrate, man.
You have to feel that and say, hey, you know, everything happens for a reason. How do I recalculate?
Yep.
And how do I move forward? You know.
Yeah. And so that's basically where I thought to myself, all right, what is that next? So then I was a journalist for a while, but the professor thing was always in the back of my mind then.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to be a teacher, but I couldn't become teacher certified through the the standard, 12 or if you kindergarten through 12. So now I can go be a college professor. So that was kind of my into that arena. So yeah, I mean, I kind of took a step back, recalibrated, and said, all right, what is that next thing?
What was your first job? Very first job.
Very first job, like not professional.
Not
just
professional.
I think of like most people. I worked as a restaurant like host.
Okay.
like a good old Serendipity in Morley Sandwood, Michigan. It's no longer even in existence. So
I'm sure it was a great restaurant. If you were a host, I'm sure a lot of people came in with a good smile. The food I can't speak on, but your personality I know it worked out. So let's jump into sales.
Yeah.
Let's talk about 90-day sales manager and the program in itself. But I want you to answer this one question for me real quick and for the audience. What is the biggest barrier for individuals in sales that are getting started off or that have been over a decade? What's the person that comes to mind to you as the biggest barrier?
Just not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
We talk about in the program, there's really 5 missing structures that most salespeople have. Number 1 is they don't know what to say. They commoditize themselves in the very first conversation.
Yeah.
The number 1 question we all get asked is, what do you do for a living?
Right.
And so we call that our opportunity statement. So having something to say is just as important as having somebody to say it to.
Right.
So we really help them work through the 6 components of a great opportunity statement. What you believe. So we're big Simon Sinek believers.
Yeah.
Start with why.
Yes.
So what do you believe? Why do you believe it? And then what do you do? And then really getting into how do you do it differently? Or if you're brand new, how does the company do it differently?
Sure.
Who has the company done it for? And then
Right.
learning how to ask for the business. If we share the same beliefs and we can help you just like we helped all these other people, what would stop us from getting started or having more conversations? So number 1 is
closing statement right there. That was a closing statement right there. And I love that. That was clutch.
Well, the thing about that too, so I'm glad you say that, is that's much different than an elevator pitch.
Right.
An elevator pitch, number 1, never shares what you believe, and it never asks for the business.
Right.
It's there to pique interest, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Right. And so we walk people through that process, and again, that's based on where does my beliefs come from? My belief of trained outperform untrained. Former college athlete, studying top producers my entire life, and now coaching top producers, right?
So
we really help
not
people
asking for the sales. Something I experienced in my sales career was seeing people coming and going, being a sales manager. Even myself early on, it's like you go through there and you regurgitate whatever the company's told you or what you think you're supposed to be telling the individual. But I always neglected. I didn't say always, but early on, I neglected my why. And then once I realized that, I started talking about it more. People started opening up to me more.
That's right.
And then going in for asking for the sell, and not asking for the sell at the very end, saying, "Hey, Bruce, can we do business?" It's like set the expectation early on, so that way they understand your true intent. Hey, after my presentation, after my introduction, after my phone call, here's what I'm looking for, and I'm looking to ask you for your business, right? And don't be scared to do that. Overall.
Well, here's a big part of that too. Talking to the younger sales folks out there is most new salespeople are taught to chase business.
Yeah.
Right. Chase anything with a pulse and a pocketbook. So if you're in real estate, if you know anybody looking to buy or sell a property, I'm your person. To me, that's not how I want to sell. I want to attract the right people based on having my filter, which is hungry, humble, coachable.
Yes.
Based on me knowing what I believe. Because what I'm really trying to figure out when I say that belief statement is, do you believe it too?
Right.
Right. If you believe that trained people outperform untrained people like I do, then now I see that you're warm and you're nodding along or you're leaning in, right? And so that's where the body language part comes with it. So that's the first part, is having something to say. People don't buy into the dream until they buy into the dreamer. That's you, the person.
I love that. I want to give a quick shout out to Ashley Palm for sharing this. You have been a great ambassador for Fluent Hustle, so keep on doing that for us. If you're watching this, we're about to get a little bit deeper into the 90-day Sales Manager program itself. If you have any questions, reach out to us, let us know.
About to give away all the secrets, man.
Yeah, let's give away all the secrets. I mean, the tricks, the trades,
sharing's caring,
the hacks, and everything like that in between. So, here's a statement I've heard before, right? If sales were easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
Right? Sales is not easy.
Yeah.
But if you're a business owner and you're an entrepreneur, you have to be good to great at sales. And you always have to try and figure out moving forward how to take it to the next level.
Yep.
Right? And finding that, the opportunity to be coached and give the direction. You said most people don't know where to go and how to get it done. There's a lack of direction overall. So what does 90-day Sales Manager provide to the individuals that are in real estate, mortgage, title, insurance, and financial services overall?
Well, let me go through, because I do think going back into the 5 things. So opportunity statement is number 1. Number 2 is having a lead generation system. So you asked earlier, what is that thing holding people back? Understanding how to prospect, right? And what that really means. So we have 15 different strategies that we walk people through to go get more business through income producing activities and person of influence activities.
Okay.
And so one of the things that I haven't mentioned on here is how I moved to Denver. I didn't know a single person in my target market. I only knew really two people. They're both teachers, not even in sales, right?
Okay.
When I moved out here. And through these 5 things, through the opportunity statement, through having a lead generation system, through having a follow-up system that's disciplined, that's a touch with value every time, not just, hey, checking in with you, or could I answer any
that's
more
the worst,
questions?
yeah.
You were on my list of people to call today. That's the worst right there. Or I woke up today thinking about you. That's what's creepy, right?
Yeah.
So those are like the 3 big sales things that we focus on. And then we get into your free prize, right? That unique customer experience that you bring to the equation, because everybody says, hey, our product is differentiated or whatever.
Yeah.
And when you're in a commoditized industry, the reality is it's really not, but you got to believe it really is.
And the only difference within a commoditized sales is you.
That's right.
Like, you are the free prize, and you
right.
need to dig deep inside to figure out what is Bruce, what is Ira, what is Susie, doing.
Yep.
When everything is all the same. And I used to use this phrase when I would meet with business owners, right?
Yeah.
They say, Ira, why is Trend? I don't want to say company, but why is your company different? They representing, right? What makes you different? I say, hey, here's what it comes down to. If you had 10 service providers all lined up against the wall, who are you going to work with?
Yep.
Right? The person you like, trust,
That's right.
and believe in the most,
Yep.
right? And if you like them all, and you trust them all, who are you going to believe in the most? And the belief system for who you are and the service or product you're representing has to come within,
Yep.
right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, so it's really packaging that up, once you go through those. And then the last part really is that 5th component is, I believe that status sells. I believe that the person that gets the most positive attention gets the most business.
Love that.
Right?
Status sells.
Yeah. And so that was going to be the next title of my book, but I've actually decided to write the whole person, the whole salesperson, which is really those 5 components.
How does someone increase their status in order to become more applicable to the sales process?
I think that's where it gets into truly understanding what you're really good at doing, right? So that gets back to the opportunity statement of what do you believe, why do you believe it, and what does make you different, and really packaging that up. One of our clients who's basically doubled or tripled their business in real estate has said, what you've really helped me do more than anything is help me be the best at what I'm best at. So we try to empower people to really know, what are you really good at doing? And because a lot of people will say, well, focus on your weaknesses. I'm like, no, man, focus on my strengths. I am who I am. And so my background as a professor, I brought that over into the sales training business. And we really call this P90X a sales training, right?
Yes.
There's no other program out there that does the daily accountability. The one thing that every producer says they need more of is accountability. And structure. And so we provide that. And so sometimes it's a negative. Like, they're like, dang, I didn't know I was getting this much accountability. Right? Because it's 90 straight days. But I'm telling you, after the 90 days, man, consistently people are having their best months ever, and it's from that daily accountability, the daily grind, the habits, everything.
It takes 21 days to break a habit,
yeah,
right, or to create a new habit, and then so that first month is about saying, hey, here's where you're at. In the first month, that's when things are really starting to change, and then the back tail of the 60 days where you're really cranking it out and you're holding people accountable.
Yeah.
And some people don't like to be held accountable because they feel like it's being micromanaged, right?
Yeah.
But if you are resourceful and you're looking to find, the next level of accountability, you have to put yourself in that kind of rigorous training on an ongoing basis.
That's right.
And
the challenge with accountability, because this is one of those things that people use as a negative. The reality is everybody competes harder when there's a scoreboard.
100%.
Right? And when left to our own devices, if we don't have an accountability partner, a coach, whatever it is, I'm not saying go sign up for my program. That would be great. But the reality is we all need people in our lives.
No, we are saying go sign up for the program. I am. You might not be. Fluent Hustle is taking on this program. I've heard nothing but great stories and testimonials from the graduates of your program, and I've seen it at different levels. I've seen it from situations where it's like, hey, I've only been in this industry for a couple months, a year. To individuals that have been in this for a decade, right? Yeah. And your approach and your dedication, which is most important, your dedication to them is beyond anything else I've heard out there in the marketplace. Yeah. And I think I know individuals are looking for not only a program that's going to work for them, but not say, hey, here's a program, walk away with it, but that you're going to be committed, and your staff and the people you're working with, your community, need to be committed to helping people grow. Yeah,
because I like this is our differential advantage, in my opinion, is the community. For 90 days, once a week, we get together live in person, and so people, other entrepreneurs in real estate, mortgage, title, insurance, financial services, really any entrepreneur, to be perfectly honest, gets in a room together once a week. They train together. They hold each other accountable. They go to events together. They host events together. They do business together. They're in this thing together over a 90-day process.
I love that because you become the average of the 5 people you're around the most, right? So if you're looking for be around top producers, looking to find peers that look to become top producers, you should definitely surround yourself with those same individuals that have the ambition levels you're looking for. So what I want to do is click over to how can people get to your program to check it out?
Yeah, so our normal website is just 90daysales.com. Now, we have created a different website to where people can now get free access to our pre-programmed materials. And what that really means is you can establish a 90-day sales plan. So we can really go through a business autopsy with you. We can go through really establishing and really helping you kind of walk through some of our different daily habits and routines when it comes to your dominant sales focus number, and really cutting out some of those amateur behaviors that we all have or trying to eliminate them and really focus on the professional behavior. So if you go to 90daysalesplan.com, you can go on there and really just sign up for free access to our pre-programmed materials and see how robust our content is. You know, we have over 300 videos on our virtual training platform. Every single day, what we say is stop and give us 20 minutes to go through, and it's all about you.
That push-ups, minutes. That push-ups, 20 minutes is all you need.
That's exactly right. So go to 90daysalesplan.com and you can sign up for basically free access to our pre-programmed materials and to see what we're all about, and really set that 90-day sales plan for you. And obviously, I'll be happy to talk to anybody. My email is bruce@90daysales.com. Cell phone is 615-410-6509.
Love it. What should people expect from you and 90-Day Sales Manager here in the months to come? I know you're in full growth mode right now. When we last spoke, you told me that you're making this pivotal change to get deeper into working with companies overall, so that we can be more impactful throughout the community.
Yeah, we have a few different companies, specifically in the mortgage industry, who are kind of making us their onboarding program for their new hires.
Love that. That's awesome.
It's a huge opportunity for us. And I really do think it's because we can track. We can see that you've watched your videos. We can see that you submitted your daily sales exercises. We can see that you've submitted your daily sales activities tied to because the whole program comes in a box. And you have workbook exercises every single day to go through. And so that's that accountability. But really, for me, it is scaling. So I'm starting to speak all over the country now and scaling it that way. I'm doing a lot more videos like these. And so it's really growing the brand because for the first year, man, I focused on Denver. I went all in here on Denver.
Good.
And we built 1,700 different people in our database organically, not buying leads. And so it's really through me just following my same system. But now I'm ready to kind of take that out to the masses.
What challenges are you facing right now?
Duplicating myself.
Yeah.
Right?
You can't be everywhere at the same time.
I think that's the challenge of all solopreneurs, especially, right? Is you can't be all things for all people, and it really is asking yourself, what is the highest use of my time? What are the HVAs that I'm doing every single day? And if I am trying to scale myself, at the end of the day, there's only 2 ways to do it. It's through technology or it's through human capital.
Yeah.
Right? To me, those are really the only 2 ways that I can do it. And obviously just leveraging our connections to our networks of people, having those advocates, having those promoters, having our new clients who are out there, drinking the Kool-Aid, beating that marketing drum for us.
Love it, love it. Who comes to mind that you want to give a shout out to that's graduated through your program and that is rocking it out here in Denver?
I'm going to go to my alumni folks. I'm going to go to Alan Walsh, who's at Colorado Home Realty. I was actually talking to him this morning, and I was saying, where did you start out to as far as your GCI and where have you gotten to? And, he's got some lofty goals, and he's hitting them. He's actually crushing them. And so that would be one. Christy Whaley at American Pacific Mortgage, she's out there crushing it. I'm just going through my head. Ryan Leobelt over at Fairway Mortgage, Matt Humphrey at Fairway. So we have some really good alumni folks who have gone through the program, are drinking the Kool-Aid, and continue to go through it. And then, I just have our current clients and our past clients, and we have over 100 of those, so it wouldn't be fair for me to give certain ones. And we did mention Joey because I'll say Joey, Joey's been my Denver marketing tree. He was one of the first people that I met, and it's really trickled down from there. So he's been he introduced us, so he's been a tremendous advocate for me and my Denver family tree, really my Colorado family tree.
I love it. All right, so guys, we're about to wrap up here. What's the best advice that you can give to an entrepreneur that's running a business, right? So right now within your program, you're working with individuals that are running a business within a business, right? They're running a business within some type of platform, I guess you can say, from another provider.
Yep.
But you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner. What's the best advice that comes to mind that you can give to inspire someone who's sitting behind a desk at the corporate level, or that might be complacent within their business and they're not really sure where to go? This is away from Fluent Household 90-Day Sales Manager, but some true, authentic advice you provide to them.
Well, so advice for just the everyday entrepreneur would be focus on progress over perfection. right? It's never going to be perfect. Get it to 80%. I think too many people, we're putting on a big event tomorrow, actually. I have my good friend Nina Lampley flying in from Nashville. She's a $44 million producer. And everybody's like, well, what are all the details? I'm like, I don't really give a shit about the details. We have a top producer coming in. She's going to speak for an hour. It's at the platform, like, come get the value. They're like, what kind of food? I'm like, man, we're focusing on the wrong thing.
Man, if you're there for the food, a top producer's coming in town from Nashville, right? To spend time to show you how to get to the next level. And you were about the food, that's the wrong point. But you said progress over perfection.
Focus on the progress over the perfection, because I think that's where, one of the big things that we do in a program is these big advocate events. Yeah. So don't focus on all the logistics. Get people in the room, make it impactful, and good things happen from that. So I just think that's a thing that we all struggle with. Paralysis by analysis.
Yes.
So what is the highest use of your time every single day, and get yourself in that mindset.
Beautiful.
Would be the biggest thing.
Love it.
And then leverage. I would say leverage. Leverage your connections, man. You can't be afraid to ask for things, right, from other people. If you, Stephen Covey's emotional bank account, if you deposit into relationships, you can't be afraid to ask and withdraw from those relationships. And so that's, guys, business at the end of the day is leverage, right? It's like compound interest for all of us. That's why we get around these major players and influencers and persons of interest.
And I know you spoke about that at your synopsis that you had back in December, I believe it was.
Yeah, the My Hot Millions event.
The My Hot Millions event, and surrounding yourself with people of influence and continue to give, but don't be afraid to ask out of that bucket of influence.
Put yourself in proximity to prosper. Get around the action.
Love it, love it. All right, guys. Again, Ira Coleman here.
We can talk all day.
We can. So we're going to end the show right now. This is Ira Coleman, the founder of Fluent Hustle. Again, we had Bruce Lunn, the founder and director of 90-Day Sales Manager. Please go check out 90daysalesplan.com to get your
free 90-day sales plan. We'll help you establish it.
Love it. And guys, thank you very much for everything. Again, we're here to empower you, promote you, and help entrepreneurs find a high level of achievement. So hopefully you have some good takeaways here with Bruce. He and I can talk about sales and everything like that all day long.
And Ira is the ultimate connector. I know he does these things, and I mean, he is the ultimate supporter. He's the ultimate connector, advocate, promoter, all those different kinds of things once you get on the inside of his circles.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
And you and I need to put something together. So we'll talk about a program or an event off record here. I love to connect with you. I love to try and figure out some things. In any way, continue to help out the sales community, ongoingly, especially entrepreneurs out there that might be struggling and they just need a little bit of advice and some direction overall. I think it's be crucial. So thank you very much for your time, brother. Appreciate it. Hey guys, have a good one. Thank you again for tuning in. Please like and share this video and make any comments. We'll follow back up with you guys in the future. Take care.